For this assignment, I developed a grant proposal concept for the Paul Brune Historic Revitalization Grants Program, administered by the National Park Service through the Historic Preservation Fund. The Paul Brune Program supports preservation projects in rural communities by funding organizations that administer sub-grant programs for the rehabilitation of historic buildings. The program is specifically designed to preserve historic resources while stimulating economic development in rural America. Eligible activities include rehabilitation, preservation, planning, architectural services, and physical improvements to historic structures. Importantly, the program encourages nonprofits and local organizations to establish revolving or competitive grant programs that assist individual property owners with preservation projects. My proposal would request $300,000 on behalf of Downtown Milford Incorporated, a nonprofit Main Street organization serving the city of Milford, Delaware. The project would establish the Historic Downtown Milford Rehabilitation and Revitalization Fund, a competitive grant program that would provide matching grants to owners of historic commercial buildings located within Milford's National Register Historic District. One of the unique challenges facing Downtown Milford is that every building within the Downtown Historic District is listed as a contributing resource on the National Register of Historic Places. While this designation preserves the community's architectural character, it also makes rehabilitation projects more expensive and technically challenging. Many building owners struggle to afford improvements that preserve historic integrity while allowing buildings to remain economically competitive. The proposed fund would provide financial assistance for projects such as ADA accessibility improvements, including elevators, platform lifts, ramps, and accessible entrances, historically appropriate awning replacement and repair, storefront rehabilitation, interior renovations necessary for adaptive reuse, restoration of original architectural features, structural stabilization, masonry restoration, historically compatible windows and doors, and other improvements that preserve the historic character of downtown while increasing long-term usability. The goal is not simply to restore old buildings. The goal is to ensure these historic buildings continue serving as homes for small businesses, restaurants, professional offices, galleries, apartments, and community gathering spaces for generations to come. The need for this project is significant. Historic buildings often require specialized materials, preservation standards, and accessibility improvements that exceed the financial capabilities of many property owners. Deferred maintenance can eventually lead to vacant storefronts, declining property values, and loss of historic resources. Downtown Milford has experienced remarkable growth over the past decade, yet many building owners face increasing costs associated with modernization while maintaining compliance with historic preservation standards. By providing targeted financial assistance, this grant would encourage private investment while protecting the architectural identity that distinguishes Milford from surrounding communities. The project also aligns directly with the mission of Downtown Milford Incorporated, which follows the Main Street America four-point approach of economic vitality, design, organization, and promotion. Improving historic buildings directly supports economic vitality by encouraging business investment, design by preserving architectural integrity, promotion by enhancing downtown's appeal as a destination, and organization by strengthening partnerships among nonprofit organizations, property owners, businesses, and local government. If funded, Downtown Milford, Inc. would administer a competitive application process. Property owners would submit rehabilitation proposals reviewed according to preservation standards, project readiness, public benefit, and economic impact. Grant recipients would be required to follow the Secretary of the Interior's standards for rehabilitation, where applicable, ensuring long-term preservation of Milford's historic resources. The anticipated outcomes include increased private investment, improved ADA accessibility, reduced building vacancies, preservation of historic architecture, enhanced tourism, stronger small businesses, and increased economic activity throughout downtown. Ultimately, this proposal demonstrates that historic preservation is not simply about protecting old buildings. It is about preserving community identity while creating sustainable economic development. Through a $300,000 historic Downtown Milford Rehabilitation and Revitalization Fund, Downtown Milford, Inc. could leverage federal preservation funding into long-term investments that benefit property owners, local businesses, residents, and visitors, while ensuring Milford's historic downtown remains both economically vibrant and historically authentic for future generations. Thank you.